If you're getting weaker as you age, the real problem isn't your muscles. It's your body losing the ability to maintain its energy system. And that system lives inside your cells in your mitochondria. Mitochondria are responsible for how your body maintains energy at the cellular level. So if you want to be healthy and you want the energy, you need your mitochondria to be healthy. And once this system, the mitochondria, starts to decline, you're going to feel more tired and weaker. And that's why things that used to feel easy start to feel harder. And it gets a lot worse as you get older. Today, I'm going to walk you through a simple science-based way to support this mitochondrial system using food. Mitochondria are responsible for how your body maintains energy at the cellular level, and your mitochondria are connected to your muscles. As we age, muscle mass declines, strength decreases, and endurance will also drop. At an extreme, this is a condition called sarcopenia. But sarcopenia isn't just about muscle. It's also a breakdown in how your body manages energy overall. So, mitochondria are inside your muscle cells. They generate something called ATP, adenosine triphosphate. This is the energy that powers up muscle contraction. Every movement you make, and indeed life itself, depends on ATP. And this is where it starts to matter. Mitochondrial health actually depends on two things. So if you want to be healthy and you want the energy, you need your mitochondria to be healthy. And these two things that mitochondria depend on are, one, something called mitophagy, M-I-T-O-P-H-A-G-Y. Mitophagy is the cleanup process. This is where your body removes the damaged mitochondria, making way for new ones. The second process is called mitochondrial biogenesis, and this is the process of rebuilding and bringing in new mitochondria. So you got to clear it away, mitophagy, and then you got biogenesis, making new ones. And your body is continuously supposed to be doing both at the same time, cleaning up and moving out the old and bringing in the new. Make sense? But here's the thing. With age, both of these processes, mitophagy and mitochondrial biogenesis, actually starts to decline. So damage accumulates, cleanup slows, replacement with new mitochondria doesn't occur as much as you need. And what's the result? Well, your energy level is going to drop, less new, fresh mitochondria. Your cellular stress increases, muscle function declines, your muscle becomes less responsive, and guess what? You're going to feel more tired and weaker. And that's why things that used to feel easy start to feel harder. And it gets a lot worse as you get older, because even as you consume protein, we know that protein is important for building and maintaining muscle mass as you age. Guess what? The signal to rebuild is weaker. Now, this is something called anabolic resistance. So even though you eat the right amount of stuff, the response of your body, the buildup, actually is slowing, and that's a sign of aging. Most people don't understand how this actually works inside the body. And if you want to learn how your body defends itself and how foods can influence that, make sure you're subscribed to my channel, because this is exactly what I focus on here. So the question is, can you influence this system? And the answer is yes, but not with a single thing. Three things actually matter if you want better mitochondria to have better energy, and so you actually can counter the effects of aging. These three things are, number one, physical activity. You need to stay in motion, exercise. Number two, you need to have a good metabolism. When your metabolism is bad, these signals are dysregulated in your body, and your mitochondria are not going to function properly. And the third thing is what you eat, your diet. And today, I'm going to focus on food. Now, look, there isn't a single food that's going to fix your mitochondria. Biology doesn't work that way. So instead of asking, what's the one thing I should eat? The real question is, what's the combination of foods or the approach to eating that's going to help me gain more energy, right? At both the muscle level, at the mitochondrial level. And I'm going to tell you something that's going to make things practical, right? So you've heard the concept of a stack. A stack is basically just a combination of interventions, one thing piled on top of each other, and each part of that stack is doing something different, like a bunch of bricks, but they're different colors, and they have different functions sitting on the brick wall, but they all work together to create the wall. Right? Here, we're going to talk about food and foods that support different parts of that system for your mitochondria so that you can actually have better strength. I call it sort of the 5 food stack, and that supports both muscle strength and mitochondrial health so you can have more energy. And 2 foods provide the building blocks, and 3 foods provide the signals needed for the energy. So you need the blocks, and you need the signals for the energy. So let's go through them. The first food in the stack, chicken. Chicken provides high quality protein and something called leucine, which is an amino acid. Leucine is a signal that triggers muscle protein synthesis. What that means is that your muscle is going to actually make more protein to build itself. Now you need leucine in order to build your muscle efficiently, about 2.5 to 3 grams per meal. And guess what? That's what you get by eating chicken. How much? About a palm-sized serving of chicken, all right, like this. Or you could actually have 2 boneless chicken thighs. So in this case, I can tell you just having a big honking chicken breast, that actually isn't what you need. You don't need that much. Second thing in the stack, fish. Fish provides protein and leucine, just like chicken does, but fish will give you something more. Fish will give you, if you have seafood, omega-3 fatty acids. This is a very, very important type of healthy fat that's needed to support mitochondrial health and how efficiently your mitochondria will generate energy. Now, fish also contains small amounts of creatine, which, as you probably know, is important for overall health and muscle strength. But creatine from fish can help your mitochondria reload so they can generate a little more energy. How much fish do you need to have? Not very much. Again, about a piece about the size of your palm, or sometimes they say the size of a deck of playing cards, thickness-wise. All right, third element in the stack, green tea. So we got chicken, we have fish, now we got green tea. Now, green tea contains a polyphenol called EGCG. This is called a catechin. And what EGCG does in your body at the cellular level, it activates a pathway called AMPK. I know there's a lot of letters in sort of this cell biology, but trust me, this is actually working. Green tea activates AMPK, and what that does is it triggers your mitochondria to become more active. Now, here's the cool thing about AMPK that green tea can stimulate. AMPK activates both mitophagy, mitophagy, cleaning up, removing the old, all right? And it triggers mitochondrial biogenesis. So it cleans the house and brings the new stuff in, makes more mitochondria. And this is one of the reasons why green tea is so powerful, and we see it as a recurring story in healthy aging, because it's one of the few foods/beverages that activates both cleanup and rebuild. So how much tea should you drink? Well, the data shows just about 2 to 3 cups per day should do the trick. That's not very much. Anybody can actually drink 2 to 3 mugs of green tea. Fourth food in the stack, pomegranate. Pomegranates contain polyphenols called elagitannins, right? This is what you have in a glass of pomegranate juice, the pure kind. And guess what those elagitannins do? They help your healthy gut bacteria convert those elagitannins, those polyphenols, into something called urolithin A. Now, urolithin A actually is one of the fascinating natural factors in your body that causes mitophagy, right? The cleanup step. So when you actually have pomegranates with elagitannins, those polyphenols, your gut bacteria can convert them into urolithin A. Now, this is super important because you really need to be able to have that mitophagy, that cleanup period. You always want to move out things. It's like cleaning out the fridge, take out the old stuff so you can actually put new leftovers in there or new food in there after you come back from the grocery store. Very, very important. How much pomegranate do you need to actually have? Guess what? Just a half a cup to a cup of pomegranate seeds is enough per day. It's about 8 ounces, 1 cup of pure unsweetened pomegranate juice. Very, very doable. Now, how often should you be having pomegranate? 3 to 5 times per week is enough. You don't need to have it every single day in order to get urolithin. Now, there's one very important nuance to what I just told you, which is that while pomegranate can support this urolithin A pathway, the amount of urolithin A in your body that your body will produce can vary quite a bit. Even when you have regular intake of elagitannins, it really depends on your gut microbiome, the healthy gut bacteria, and how efficiently your gut bacteria performs that conversion from elagitannins into urolithin A. In fact, in some people, they don't actually do very efficient conversion at all. So it's not always very consistent. So from a clinical perspective, the consistency is what makes a difference. And because the cellular process of removing damaged mitochondria, you really need to have that reliable signal over time. And that's where targeted approaches have been studied. So there is a clinically researched form of urolithin A that's called MitoPure, MitoPure. It's been developed by Timeline, and MitoPure delivers a precise, consistent dose of urolithin A to your body. And you don't have to depend on your microbiome conversion. You don't have to depend on having elijah tannins, right? It takes all that kind of variability out of it so you can actually have just a controlled dose. In human studies, the MitoPure has been shown to support mitochondrial renewal, which is what you want. And it can improve mitochondrial health in as little as 30 days. So this is not an overnight thing. It's consistency over the course of a month, and you'll see the mitochondrial health go up. And guess what? When your mitochondria improve, it leads to improvements in muscle strength over time. And one clinical study found that muscle strength can increase by up to 12% after 16 weeks of MitoPure use. And by the way, this is with no changes in exercise. So instead of replacing your food, you can actually use this kind of urolithin supplement as a way to reinforce that same pathway that pomegranates or elijah tannins can do, but a lot more efficiently. So for those looking for a more direct way to support your urolithin A mitochondrial mitophagy process, a 30-day supply of MitoPure is currently available starting at $99, and you can receive 20% off using my link below. Fifth, and the last food in the stack is dark chocolate. Dark chocolate contains flavanols called proanthocyanidins, and guess what they do? They increase your body's production of nitric oxide, okay? Not nitrous oxide, that's laughing gas. Nitric oxide is extremely important signaling molecule in your body, and nitric oxide made by proanthocyanidins, which are found in dark chocolate, that triggers a pathway called PGC1A. More letters, right? Trust me. PGC1A triggers your mitochondria to undergo biogenesis. Makes more mitochondria, gives you more energy. So eating chocolate with the proanthocyanidins will actually help your body make more mitochondria. New mitochondria, more energy, more fresh energy. It's like changing the batteries in your flashlight to get better power. Now, if you want to find the right kind of chocolate, you want to get dark chocolate. Dark chocolate's got more of the cacao, which is where the proanthocyanidins are. What's a percentage of cacao? I would say 70 to 80% or higher dark chocolate. Have a few squares of dark chocolate every single day. Now, it can be a little bitter. So what I like to do is to eat my squares of dark chocolate with a cup of coffee. Chocolate plus coffee equals mocha. And who doesn't like mocha? All right. Let's pull this all together now. Chicken and fish provide the substrate for your muscles. Green tea activates the system for both muscle and mitochondria. Pomegranate clears away that damaged mitochondria through mitophagy, and dark chocolate builds new mitochondria. That's the stack I'm talking about. And it's not about eating the same 5 foods every single day. It's about getting the idea of what's needed and repeating that pattern over and over again, day after day over time. Now, for protein, just make sure you get enough of that leucine signal that's needed to stimulate your muscles to grow. And green tea and dark chocolate, well, that's something that you can have every single day, right? I usually have a couple of cups of green tea every day, just sip on it, no problem. Very, very easy and practical. Pomegranate, remember I told you, just 3 to 5 times a week. You don't need to actually do it every day. Don't need to be religious about it. Just make sure you have it on the counter so you can order in the fridge and you can actually have pomegranate juice several times a week. The real question, of course, is when are you going to see the results? Well, here's the answer. If you take the stack or you take the MitoPure, okay, within 2 to 4 weeks, you're going to notice a change in your energy and your recovery levels, okay? The speed of recovery. And within 1 to 3 months, you're going to feel real changes in your strength. This is all about long-term, sustained consistency. And what's going to happen is that you'll actually start having changes in your body composition, less visceral fat, and your metabolic markers are going to improve as well. So just keep in mind, only eating food isn't going to do the job. Okay, that 5 stack, got to do a little bit more. You need to combine it with physical activity because physical activity tells your body, tells your muscles what to do and actually how to coordinate that with the energy made by the mitochondria. If you want to actually use this approach to gaining more energy, to fighting, the fatigue of aging, getting more tired, you're going to want to measure it with things that are working. So how do you measure it? Well, strength is one of the most direct way to measure whether or not this approach is working. How much can you lift? How many repetitions can you perform under the same conditions? And function, strength and function. How long can you sustain an effort? Open that pickle jar. How long can you actually do that? All right. Or walking. How fast and how long can you walk at a consistent speed. Your overall activity level is another way of actually telling whether or not you're getting the results that you're looking for. Another way to look for this objectively is body composition. You can measure your body composition, how much muscle you have, how much fat you have, how much water you have. You can measure it using a system, a device called a DEXA scan, or at home you can actually get something called a Hume, Hume pod. It's a really easy, it's kind of like a weight scale at home in your bathroom. It's got a little bit of a handle on it and you pull it up and it actually on your phone will measure what your body composition is. You can also look at metabolic markers to see if your approach to improving your energy levels and mitochondria are working. So how do you actually look at metabolic markers? Well, fasting blood glucose is a good way of looking at it, and your blood triglycerides. They both should improve as you're actually improving your mitochondria and your overall metabolism and your energy levels should actually all it should increase as well. So it is definitely possible to prevent and counter getting weaker as you age. You got to move, stay in motion. You got to eat the right things, eat that stack I was telling about. Get your body to do the job it was designed to do. Guess what? You'll start to bring back the strength that you need in order to be able to enjoy a good health span, right? We all want longevity, but what's even more important is that we want to actually live long and actually have enough strength. If this video has changed how you think about your muscles and aging, well then please subscribe to my channel. I will post videos to tell you how the body protects your health and how you can use food as medicine in order to be able to do it. Let me know in the comments below if you found this video helpful and what part of it shifted your thinking about aging, muscles, and strength. I will see you in the next video. Dr. Lee out. Hey, if you like that video, then you're going to love this one. Check it out.